Hi, I'm Greg Hall, and I am going to go over enhancements made to the data tracking system. And I'm going to demo this to you at https://unilisa.net, unilisa.net. So without further ado, I'm going to go to my Google Chrome, go to one of my accounts here, click on my website. It's going to go to unilisa.net. Notice it bypassed the login screen, and that's because a while back I did presentations on the Tableau JavaScript API event listeners, and users wanted to be able to get into this site so they can see examples of the Tableau JavaScript API event listeners without having to log in. But our focus today are on two enhancements to the data tracking system. If you want to look at the data tracking system in detail, just click on long version here. So let me go through the basics on how to navigate through the data tracking system. So you would need a category, so I would click on data categories. You would need at least one category or categories. So I have a bunch of categories here. I have a lot of fun stuff here. You can add your categories here. And then click on data grid. It's going to have all my data in this really cool grid, data grid. So if you wanted to look at a specific record, data record in a vertical format in form view, just click here. And voila, I can see things in form view. And I have my attachments here. If it's an image file, you can see it. PDF, I have my resume here. Voila, let's close this guy. You can scroll right or left, and notice when I scroll right, these first three columns are frozen all the time, so you can always see your file menu. Something I designed here saves a lot of real estate. Have my notifications here, or indicators here, my categories here. So here I have, these are notes. You can enter in as much text as you want. My backend database is Microsoft SQL Server, a very high-end database. There are a lot of features here. There's drag and drop sorting here. So you can easily sort your records here. Um, you can pretty much filter and search on any column or multiple columns. For example, I can come here. Let's go to, how about pickleball, or pickle is good enough. Enter, finds pickleball. Pretty cool. And what you can do is you can save your filter grid state. So what do I mean by that? I can click here. I can move off this page. For example, let's say I had to do something else. I already filtered on pickleball and I want to go back to it later. I need to do something else. Let's say I had to go to Tableau, um, get my, select my categories here, and then get my ins and out and post these guys and drill down and I had to do stuff, more analysis here. Voila, and then I, I close this guy, go back home, and then go back to my data tracking system or data tracking manager, and voila, it remembers my filtered grid state. Pickleball gang. Remember I filtered on pickle? If I want all my records back, easy pleasy. All I have to do is click on reset grid state, and I get all my records back. So our focus here is going to be on notes and event logs. Again, there are tons of features here, but we're focusing on notes and event logs. So notice that I have a note here and I have event logs here. You can go to your file menu to go to notes right here or event logs. But if you see it here, if you have a note, you can also just click here and get to it right away. Voila. So what I really like about Notes is that everything can be in graphics mode. You can have really big fonts, you can have images, diagrams, images here, and you can have links to videos. And if you enter a YouTube video, it automatically embeds your videos right over here, and there are no ads. So I coded it so that you would have embedded videos if you have a YouTube video right here. And again, you have your attachments here. Voila, pretty cool. Voila. Voila. So, and here is your editor. So click here, my editor. And for example, right here, mom at 97, you can use this tool and click on link. Just enter your URL, enter your text. I like to open the link in a new window, so check that, and then I'll insert and then click on save. But I already have everything the way I want it, so I'm not going to click save, and then you would click on view note. So one thing to notice, I like putting things on, if I have a lot of links, I like to put things in a table, and that's because I think one time I just created my links without putting it in a table, and it was perfect here on my laptop here. But when I went to my MetaQuest 3 to look at the browser there, it's sort of wrapped over, right? So it's really helpful to put things in tables just to make sure it's formatted correctly. So again, if you have if you have a YouTube video, you put in a YouTube uh, URL in that. Remember that link tool? It will create these embedded videos, and for example, and you'll see the link here too as well. You click here, and voila, it goes there as well. Pretty cool, huh? So again, I can click here, and if I once I click here, it's gonna there are gonna be no ads, and once it's done, it's gonna repeat itself. So let's close this guy. And I think that's really cool. Here, what else I have that's fun? Or I can click directly here, and voila. So what am I doing here? I am playing my mom one-on-one. She's 97. She'll be 98. She plays pretty much every she plays. She loves tennis. That's her favorite sport. Tennis, pickleball. She loves to hit. She bats. She gives me a pump fake, and I fall for it, and voila. So again, once this is done, it's going to repeat itself. Yeah, she likes fishing too. So she caught a striped bass here too. 21 incher. She reeled in a 21-inch striper. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So those are notes. Notes are in graphics mode. I think that's really slick. Let's go to the other feature, event logs. I can click here for event logs. Go right here. But you can, let me show you on the data grid itself, okay? So let's go to the data grid. I can find the data grid right away because it's in a blue button here. So voila, data grid. And wow, so what here's your data grid. So here's your data grid and here's your event logs. So this is the whole thing. It's your data grid, all your data records, and here's your event logs. So the reason why event logs are really cool. So for example, let's say you have a client in a specific record, and you have a lot of meetings. Let's say you have 50 meetings. I'm exaggerating a bit, but let's say you do have 50 meetings. You do that. You could put in your notes, right? But it's going to be so busy, right? So if you were to view it, imagine if you put all your on notes, if you put all your meetings here, it'd just be so busy. So that's where event logs are very helpful. Notice I have 100, in this case, I have 176. These are videos. I can click here and voila, it's so organized. So there's a lot of features here. You can search here. I can see, for example, I can come here and I can type in Christian or Chris is good enough, enter, and it finds anything with Christian. So if I highlight this, notice you see Christian here. And if I want all my records back, I click on clear search and voila, I get all my records back. I can also search by emoji. So for example, I'll click on, I'll click on what's fun, music. What do I have in music? So I have 7 records with music in them. Anything fun here? What is this? Playing by ear at 13. Let's see what that's about. So it goes to another tab. I can click here. So once you notice there are no ads, right? And once this video is done, it repeats itself. So that's my son playing the guitar. So he plays guitar, piano. So those are when he was really little. He played a lot of, he still plays the guitar. And he plays the guitar and piano. There's a bunch of stuff with him playing stuff. So yeah, so that's really cool. So you can search by emojis, put partial text here. If you want all your records back, just click on clear search and you get all your records back. There's other features here, but those are the basic features. But this is probably the most useful tool. It's so organized because you're gonna, it's good to have a one-to-many relationship for specific records. You can have a lot. Again, let's say you have 15 meetings. It's helpful to have it in your event log. Well, so another really cool feature is that, for example, so this is like, say, the primary key. So what I can do, so let's go back home. what I can do here is I can have, like, notice you see here, notes editor example and event log example. I can have a link for that. And I can click here, base, and I can get to the event log by getting, because I have the primary key here. So that's why I'm able to, when I go back home, create a link, a direct link to the event log for that record, right? That record is in the data tracking manager. For example, I have something called Pickleball Gang right here. So if I click here, voila. Um, yeah, here's a Pickleball Gang. Here's some attachments here, Pickleball Gang. It goes to the event log on that Pickleball Gang record. Remember I searched on pickleball or pickle? This is the event log for that record, meaning that um, in the data tracking system, remember I had pickleball here, right here, Pickleball Gang. Same thing here. It's the event log for that. But let's say you just, because so I have friends that I play pickleball. Well, I started pickleball maybe a few months, learning how to keep score and knowing where to position myself. But so I have my pickleball gang friends, and they can come into the site, lisa.net, and click on pickleball gang and see, the latest video, let's say. So again, everything's in chronological order with the most current date on the top. So yeah, and then you have your attachments here. You can see stuff. This is Stern Grove, the map for that. And you can schedule and reserve your courts. Yeah, so that's very, very helpful. Very helpful. And there are other stuff here, like, God, I have my games here. I wrote games, a map game that has my kids' voices, my resume, some cool stuff. And I have her family jewels, so that's my mom. Says Grandma hit the ball into the family jewels. Could this be the end of the Han dynasty? So that's has some fun stuff here. Yeah, my YouTube channel, Instagram, TikTok. So latest enhancements. So yeah, so that's pretty cool. So I think so. So two really cool features are the notes editor example and the event logs. Event logs are probably the most used feature. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I click so
Good
Good
night.
night. If I click here, it says good night. Notice it says Tableau user because this I had initially created this for demoing examples of the Tableau JavaScript API email listener. So that's why it says good night Tableau user. But you can actually log out and log in with your user ID. Yeah, and you would see different things too, different columns too as well, depending on your user ID. But it defaults and it bypasses the login screen, defaults to a Tableau user, which yeah goes again bypasses the login screen, goes to the menu. And it says good night Tableau user.
Good
You click
night.
because it's nighttime now. It's 12:28 a.m. in the morning. So, 1st of December 2024. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.